What's going on, everyone? Matt Cellitti for Dubspot. Taking a look at our new friends. We got Maschine Mk2. We got the Mikro. They come in black. They come in white. They come with sexy different colored pads. You can get faceplates for them. You can put them on stands now. The whole nine. But most importantly, it comes with a big software update, Maschine 1.8. And we're going to take a look at why it's a very important update, how the hardware is actually updated, give an idea of why you need it.
So the first thing everyone's going to notice is that what happened with Maschine, the colors have changed, obviously. Is this a big deal? Yes. I think so personally. Some people might not, but once you start using it, you see it just helps you navigate the program better than ever because it's easier to see what's going on. It's much nicer to look at. It's sexier, I think. But just having the color coordinated to different scenes, patterns, pads, sounds, whatever you want, is really, really helpful. And so, for instance, say even looking in the software, you don't have a bunch of big orange squares you're looking at anymore. So when you actually go in and set up the colors however you like, much easier to see. Another cool thing is that now on the GUI, these shots are not all the way to the top of the grid. And so when you're getting really complex in the pattern editor here, it's just a lot easier to actually see what's going on and edit as you would need. And so other things too, like how do I know what all these different patterns are? This is like one of my main patterns, so we could go in and just actually change the color to blue or whatever we want. So it's easier to see when you're arranging. You can see I can change the scene color too, so it's helpful to see if there's a buildup or something happening, however you like, however you want to work. If you want to get into the preferences and change things back to whatever you want, of course you can do that and just make everything mint colored if you like, maybe lime. I think they all look great. The mint on the white is actually pretty great. So I'm going to use auto. I prefer to work like that. So otherwise, what else has changed with the hardware? Knobs feel better, pads feel better than they ever have. They're even more sensitive. They just feel great. And then your LCD screens have been kind of reversed, so they're darker now, easier to look at in the dark, easier to look at a different viewing angle, just easier to look at in general. All the different buttons now are actually, you can hear some click to them, just feel more professional, feel better than ever. It's just great. And also on the back, the USB is now recessed into the unit, so you don't have to worry about it coming out so easily or getting in the way and getting pulled out or something. So much easier to work with. And then lastly, you see there's one big knob, and this is important because it's clickable, first of all. So what's great is I don't even have to look at the screen to see when I'm adjusting tempo. Like I can click and feel 10 clicks to know if I'm going up 10 BPM or something like that. The other great thing is that in order to use something like volume, swing, tempo, instead of having 3 knobs now, you have one simple knob. And this is important because if you've ever performed live or something and you meant to adjust the volume and then accidentally turned up the tempo or something and all of a sudden you're out of sync with the rest of the players in the band or something, it can become a real hazard. So this is actually much more helpful. It doesn't slow you down in any way, so don't even worry about something like that. One of the other big updates to the 1.8 update is the fact that Massive is now included. So if you've never used Massive, you're now going to get it. It's my go-to synth from NI. It's one of my favorite for when I just need to do quick, dirty sound design. It's so easy to create patches, and it's so fun, and it's so easy to use. It's just great. It's just great. So now you're going to have it. If you want to learn more about it, you can always check out our sound design courses where we go way in depth on it. So what else is going on here? Well, you remember automation was always very easy to do. You simply hold down and turn some knobs, and you're going to town. Let's clear the automation out once now. You can actually pin this auto write feature. What's that mean? You hit shift auto write and you'll be able to actually turn multiple knobs at one time and it records all those different automations. So before you had to kind of go one at a time. That's no fun when you're doing your acid house and you need cutoff and resonance in different directions. Now you can just pin it. It works real great. It's a nice improvement. One of the other things also is if you're using Maschine as a plugin now inside of your host, I use it inside of Live all the time, you now have host transport control, meaning Machine's transport will light up when you're inside of Maschine and basically control the host transport controls. Because before you would like be playing, you know, and you might hit stop like a couple times and nothing happens. You have to actually go over to your keyboard and hit stop because the host, the DAW, was actually controlling the transport. So now that's a great little feature. Just helps you speed up your workflow inside of the DAW. Very nice stuff. So what else do we got? Let's take a look at some of the new features. So first thing I want to do is talk about time stretch. That's one of the big new things. Everyone loves it. Everyone wanted it. Now you have it. So here's the funky drummer. I just tweaked it out to work better inside this mix. So let's go in and actually show you how easy it is to go in and do this. Let's go find a funky drummer loop. And that's the original BPM, which is what? Let's go to the edit tab, and now you have your time stretch settings right from here. So if I hit settings, all my controls are in here, and it also shows up on the GUI. You can tune things. We're going to show you more about the time stretch in a future tutorial here, but the main thing, look at, you got beat mode. It's going to detect the beat, which is roughly 97 BPM. It knows I'm working at 130, and if we just hit apply, I can do it from the controller or from the software. There we go. It's that easy. So now we can actually go in and resequence that in and get it fixed up however we want. Let's go ahead and let's actually just mute out the other one and record it in real quick. Now it doesn't work so great, so let's go in and actually use one of the new effects called Transient Master. This is brand new in the 1.8 update. Very simple to use. You pretty much have an attack and a sustain setting. So watch what happens when let's go ahead and solo this. If I turn the attack all the way to the left and the sustain all the way up to the right, you're basically going to get a very loose attack on the transients and a long sustain. Can sound kind of sloppy, but it's also a cool effect. Maybe you get that kind of pumping reverb, pumping compression, I'm sorry. If we go the opposite way, it's really going to tighten up the loop. At this point, it's kind of like way more percussive, and it kind of works nicer. So I'll go ahead and I'll turn it down a little and on solo. Fits a lot better than before, where it was kind of loose and a little dirty. Now I just kind of cleaned it up for my needs right there. What else we got? Let's take a look at the new select option. So when I hit select now, we can pin the select and have a lot more options about basically what events we want to edit. By the way, these knobs feel better than ever also. Maybe I want to actually go in and adjust the pitch of a certain event. So maybe I want to tune down my drum, my bass drum right from here. Adjust velocity. All this great stuff right from the controller now. Much easier to work with the improved select features. Another great thing is, what were we doing before when I brought in the funky drummer? Let's go in. Say I hit something like that, it's overplaying on each other, the polyphony is set too high, and it just keeps playing. Well, now you have this choke feature. I can turn off all the sound immediately from Maschine just by hitting Shift Mute. Very helpful, even if you're going through and like looking at different things inside of your browser. It'll even shut all that off. So really helpful if you get into a mess where you just need to cut the sound. It's a great panic button to work with. Other simple things that are improved, things like improved missing samples. So basically, like sometimes you load up a thing and you move your samples around. It's much easier to find all your samples and loads up quicker that way. You can even do a thing where you save group with samples now. So before you had to save a project with the samples, but if you want to, maybe make a custom drum kit and you want to share it with your buddies, now you can actually do it like this. Very helpful. Lastly, let's actually look at some of the new effects. So Transient Master is obviously one of them, but you also have tape and tube saturation built in now. So let's listen to like a power chord. And what's cool with the tape saturation, you can get some really nice sound. It's cool when you drive the input gain, it's kind of giving you that natural tape compression, kind of squashing it, also kind of distorting it subtly. It's really cool effect. Let's try it on a drum loop once. Sometimes I use it to dirty things up and then also just kind of contain them in the mix. It's a really neat tool. On top of that, you can do tube saturation now. You got this bass overload. You also have an EQ and a bypass for the EQ, so really helpful to just, dirty up whatever sounds you need. Maybe you want an 808, just nasty tube saturation. It's all good, whatever you want. So overall, huge update, great refresh of the hardware, and I think everyone's going to like it. So stay tuned for more tutorials on some more in-depth concepts with the new Maschine. Peace.
Welcome to Dubspot. We believe in providing you hands-on experience right away. Whether you're completely new to music and want to turn the sounds in your head into a musical reality, or you're an experienced artist looking to refine your skills and add new tools to your arsenal, we're ready to meet you at your level. For students of all ages, all levels, and all styles of music, Dubspot is here to help you achieve your goals. With course offerings both online wherever you are and at our school in the heart of New York City, we are ready to guide you through the next phase of your musical transformation. Whether you want to produce music, DJ, or do both, you've come to the right place. Come explore Dubspot for yourself. Become a part of our community and make music.